ladies?
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you...
I guess it's not a new thing after all. Anyways, I don't know why I showed you that. I just thought I'd Google it, and I laughed my ass off because it's the same script over and over. Ladies and gents, all right, let's get into it. So if you watched my weekend videos, the market analysis, which I highly recommend that you do every weekend because it's action-packed with info, you'll see here that I had put in what I call the fuckery line. Okay, now we held the fuckery line today, and we're in this channel, rising wedge, whatever you have it. This here, 4545 pretty much, is my secondary target for July. The problem here is we cannot reach it tomorrow unless we break this line. It could possibly cross on Wednesday, which might be too late. Okay, so our seasonality chart has us having a high tomorrow and then coming down, right? Possibly filling these gaps, who knows. What the seasonality chart, that is a futures chart over 30 years, does not factor in are cooked bank earnings, too big to fail right now companies like Netflix and Tesla. It would be a shame if they didn't beat. Okay, that's why I showed the other seasonality chart that we might we'll know within a day or two. And this is very fascinating because ever since we got, what candle was it? Ever since we got this candle here, that, Twitter Christian did, that gravestone doji, which it's not, everybody's been trying to short this. So what happens is when retail doesn't really have firepower left, and they're just desperate, right? When they stop out or their position gets blown to smithereens, the market goes up. And yes, when you're trading, obviously you want volume and all of that, but the market can also move on low volume. Like, that's a misconception, in my opinion, about volume trading, that when the market doesn't move, we all complain about, there's no volume. No, there's no price action. The volume, sure, it helps to both sides, but it's not a requirement. Neither is some bogus fear and greed indicator by CNN. I mean, that's the thing you're gonna trust from CNN is the fear and greed. It's just a number. Like, get out of here. Anyways, when I look at this with an open mind, what I see is a cup and a handle. Okay, so let's see. I mean, we have a pretty epic entry on those 455s for Friday at around here. A few things can happen. This is why I would urge everyone to be a little cautious. First roadblock is HSI tonight. What are they gonna do? Second one is Canadian inflation needs to come in at 3. Okay? Then we have retail numbers. If these, I don't know if retail numbers good or bad. It completely depends on what the market makers has planned for that move, if any. And then before a Fed blackout period, we got Barr and Gibson tomorrow, but nothing crazy. Craziness happens after hours. Now, not that this is like, everyone knows Great Britain is a complete freaking joke nowadays. I mean, it's just a shithole with a palace. But this comes in tomorrow after hours. All right. And Wednesday we got some building permits, blah 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 blah. And Thursday we got jobs, but nothing really huge. We got Japanese numbers after hours, and Friday. So this week is kind of a, you know, nothing's happening before FOMC. However, we can still get moves. Now, again, let's go to the Webull chart. We are really close to that trend line. Now on SPY, we're above that trend line. But this is the SPX one, okay? This is the same line on SPY, and we've taken it. This is huge. This is huge. You know why this is huge? This is the first time ever since, what was it, February that we crossed over, that we've retaken. This is like a kill shot to the bear market. That's why I'm entertaining higher prices. Now, if we're gonna go for a SPY money shot and our seasonality chart stops working, we're going to 462, okay? But that is like if this just starts melting and every single big tech company beats on earnings. Because I mean, Apple and Amazon and Meta and Netflix and Tesla and, you know, all of those guys need to beat for this to happen. All right, so Dixie is still under 100. Did that thing. VIX, I mean, look at that chart. Barcoding pretty much. Still hasn't closed the gap. That's why I'm thinking maybe tomorrow it does, and we get our early high, which is, you know, 453. If that's the case, on bank earnings and retail numbers, I will be selling every single thing I own. And then I'm gonna go into the mode of, okay, so this market is what it is. What's moving? And I'm gonna jump on that. Obviously, TSM chugged all day. The reason I'm in out of the money calls is, look, I have played this once when this gapped up, and the contracts on this thing go ballistic. So you kind of have a cup, could have a handle, or just make a full cup and then pull down and go. Chips, Nvidia last time, you know, this is just attractive on a chart for me. Netflix, I'll see what the premiums are. I'm not gonna sit induced premiums and, you know, flip a coin here, okay? Remember I said Goldman Sachs sold off after hours, obvious, or towards the end of the day it recuperated even higher. Someone asked, can I go over KRE? Well, okay, sure. Didn't really, you know, besides chug up with SPY all day. As you can see, it had a completely identical move to SPY. So, except it didn't get over its Friday high like SPY did, although SPY couldn't hold it. Okay, we still went higher up. So this pump into there and slap down indicates to me that we are close to a high. So I don't want everybody, just because I said, you know, 460 or 462 as a completely blow off top, I don't want you hamming into that, okay? We could possibly get the short-term high tomorrow. I'm gonna trust our seasonality chart until it doesn't work, and I want to see if it works. I don't want to be going rogue here and not trusting the plan just because I want to see. You know, we can afford to wait a few hours and see what's up. 10-year yield still under both of our trend lines, and if you're new to this train and page, here, draw these in. Let me make it smaller. Oh my god, dude, freak. All right, so draw from the top in October 2022 that touches the March top of 23, and you will see. And then the reason I have this line here at 3.885, I've come to the conclusion that it's a magical line that once the 10-year gets underneath here, the market's pretty rocking. And then I have another trend line that we, you know, rejected, that goes from December 21. You know, you can pause this video, draw that in. Okay, cool. The Vol D was, nothing was really going on. Okay, so I still count that as a green, and I like this. This could mean that we could have one of those days again. IWM had early strength, then sold off. Just look at the Robinhood chart. Still, I mean, holding up in this area is pretty awesome. Chart, you know, the 21's gonna be coming up. It's gonna retest that and go higher probably. We'll keep an eye on it. The market today had, you know, decent call flow. There's nothing really much the bears got going on for right now, at least. You know, it's just one of those things. Not even a lot of zero DTE action. But yeah, I watch all this stuff. The one that I was gonna jump in on was Nvidia, but obviously played AMD instead, you know, which is way less risky, and we still got over 100% gains on it. So obviously we caught, again, to recap, we were in the, you know, the 453s sold here, hit pretty close. They were for tomorrow. They juiced heavily, and then you know, we grabbed the 455s. My wife is texting me a bunch of stuff. All right. Tesla clearly holding like a champ and wants to go higher. To me, you know, I've reviewed some. Let me just show you here. For those of you who don't know what a IV trap or a IV flush is, every options contract has implied volatility, right? And when I say, oh, the cons are juiced, I mean the option contracts are overpriced. Or when we've gotten some contracts for a cheap price and I say cons are juicing, that means that the price is about to move or just moved and the value of the contracts increased, right? So I just want to show you here, for instance, after last Tesla earnings, we came down and then it's just been running ever since, right? But the earnings before that, we had a gap and a run. So the contracts right now are very, very, very pricey. Okay, I did take like 20% on them, but I'm not going to overnight them. And depending upon what price they are, what can happen is that a earnings is good and it's just flat. And what then happens is your contracts get, because there's no volatility, the price gets like cut in half overnight. And that's then the IV flush. Let's say Tesla beats on earnings. Price doesn't move because the market makers collect on the premium prices of the contracts. That means we're better off jumping in first thing in the morning on Thursday into those contracts because they will juice the price right back. Okay, and that's called a IV flush. Okay, glad we went over that. You saw what UPST did today? Absolutely freaking legendary move. You know, I didn't want to cry too much about paper handing it at one point because, you know, me, I like to take profit and sometimes not. But look, this whole move here, to me, this chart's loading. Okay, I'm actually gonna pop in a little bit of a trend line here. To me, that chart is loading. It's not the best looking chart, but I do think Carvana is gonna have a crazy ass move. You know, I was debating taking Nvidia here, and yeah, shoulda, but instead we played, where are you, AMD. Okay, had The same type of chart move, absolutely epic. I'm still in some, but I sold most because, I mean, you know, you got to ask yourself, okay, you get 110%. Okay. What are you looking for? You know that the market can dump any day, possibly, or not. So it's good to keep some runners, but you're way better off feeling the momentum of the day and then day trading. Okay? Oh, glad I got that off my chest. All right, SQ, epic. We know that we're going to be looking at this in the morning, okay? Because as you can see, it runs in the morning. And we played this, and you know, I still want it to go to 80. I don't know why, but I do. PayPal, same thing, runs in the morning, so we're gonna jump on either one of those in the morning probably. SoFi, absolutely epic move today. I think we can get more, but there's a risk to this. You know, Joe Biden can come out and say, you know, I'm forgiving everybody's everything, and then it tanks. Okay. Swung some China. Because of the late strength of the day, I was in and out of it. We'll see. Still think it's an overcrowded trade. I don't think it'll really happen. Not yet. If it does, prove me wrong. Fantastic. I mean, Snap. Why not? Very inexpensive. Clearly, something's going on here. Haven't watched it for a while, but geez. Got earnings coming up, can go absolutely nuts and hit, you know, $20. It's got plenty of gaps up there, and you know, what was Snap valued at back in the day? $80. And I'm gonna bet my balls that you're gonna see this at $80 again. I don't know when, but at some point they are going to pump each and every one of these shitty ass stocks. Okay, it's very apparent in my opinion. So again, SPY might be going down a day and you jump on something that's just BS and you make a bunch of money. Lockheed Martin earnings had a great move today. We rode that up, scaled right there, then it dumped in some lottos. To me, this can do two things. Since it rejected the gap, it needs to gap above it, or it's gonna go back here to the 9, maybe even the 21, and make a ugly ass cup and go, or it's going to gap hard and run. So again, something exciting to look forward tomorrow. So happy we sold Shop. They got downgraded after hours, so that plays over. So buy Shop. I don't know what happened. Same with Shop, but it obviously, I'm still in it. Not too heavy, but a little. I mean, that is one hell of a after hours soak. We'll see if it goes in the morning. Then again, U is all about the 4-hour chart. So it can chop all it wants, and at some point it'll fire. There's nothing wrong with it, right? That's pretty much it as of right now. Oh yeah. Here. Still buying both Q and SPY. Nothing major out of the ordinary. I'm gonna see what banks do tomorrow. Oh yeah, someone asked about, hope I remember right, CRM. Let's see. To me, this looks like it's not gonna make the gap until earnings. I remember we were in this for last earnings, or was it the earnings before then? Oh yeah, we were in here when we had that huge gap up. Clearly chugging with tech hot the last week. if we can consolidate, I doubt it'll fill the gap down here. Maybe if we sell off in the market, but as far as Salesforce, the earnings last time were not the best, and didn't it sell a little? Yeah, it did. I would think a company of that magnitude and the niche that they're in are going to be targeting this gap, because again, as you can see, this is, if you compare this to QQQ or SPY, we're like over here somewhere compared to that top. So this still has room to go. So keep me updated if this is something that you watch. And again, for tomorrow, you know, today we had early, let me check here on the other computer. Shit. We had an early high May rally today, which we kind of did. Tomorrow we got early high. So I would like to see a gap up. I really would. And if that happens, it's going to repeat Friday, where we had a gap up, early high, and then we just sold off all day. So I don't want tomorrow for anybody to be trapped. You know, if that's the pattern they play tomorrow, I would rather spend time finding what's moving and what's not. Another one that I'm in, that I swung a little bit, that I wanted to show, was Rivian. Yeah, we had that huge move, right? But again, if you look here, we tested and held the 9, and that is always bullish. So this might move again very soon. All right, that's it for today's recap. If anything else, I'll post in the chat. All right, love yourself, love your family, God bless.